So here I am in my dream house and I made a massive mistake. Open plan living I thought would be super amazing. It looks absolutely fantastic on Grand Designs and on YouTube, everywhere that you see it. Absolutely beautiful living spaces like this. And to be honest, our open plan wraps from all the way around there, used to be all the way down there and round the corner to the entrance of the house. And my word, is there problems with it. As you can see, we've put the plasterboard in already and we're taking steps to move towards a more functional living space rather than the open plan. But there are 5 things specifically that me and my wife hate about open plan living, or should I say definitely need considering if you're about to embark upon open plan living. Just might not be the dream that you thought it would be. So let's get into it. First thing first is privacy. I know it's self-explanatory, but I just want to talk through my experiences. If you've got friends around, or if you've got a husband you don't like my wife has, and you want to get away from them into a nice cozy space, if you have got something like this, open plan from all the way down there, wrapped around there, you can be having a conversation with your girlfriends, boyfriends, people that you socialise with, even your kids at times, in this area, and right on the other side of the house, about, that's 12.5 metres, 13 metres down there, you can hear the conversation. So sometimes you just don't want people listening to what you're talking about, especially at house parties or social gatherings when independent conversations want to happen independently without other people's ears listening into what you're talking about, as you might be talking about your husband, wife, girlfriend or children. You just want that privacy is what I'm saying. Or as my wife says, she needs a bit of space from this face. Also, if you have a Barney, a big argument, as we say in the north, there is literally nowhere that you can go for your argument to conclude and separate. Because you'll hear the other person muttering to himself in the other room and it'll just continue into that room. So yeah, privacy, number 1. So sound. Sound sort of ties in with the privacy one from before that we spoke about, but my God, does it bounce. If you've got 2 little rugrats like I've got, they can be fighting, playing around, and you just want to shove them in a corner. You end up sending them to the bedroom or upstairs to play because you've got this huge space, or we've got this huge space down here, and the noise echoes. The fights are literally feel like they're right next to you and they're quite far away. So that can be extremely, extremely overwhelming, especially say if I've got something like the in-laws staying over, because we have them over a lot, and they'll be chatting here in front of me, sat at the dining table. I'll be watching football or sports at the top, proper engrossed in football, then I'm part of the conversation about pensions. And I'm fully trying to engage in the football. Do you know what I mean? So you feel distracted as the sound bounces and travels around the house. So yeah, they go hand in hand. So number 3 is smell, which can be a good thing and a bad thing. But every smell that's encountered in the ground floor of the house travels all around it, is not contained in any area. So you start to smell tea or dinner or lunch, if you're from down south, you start to smell it before you have it. So you start to get hungry and start picking at food before it arrives. If you've got a good cook as a wife, that's great. But if you've got a bad cook, it sort of builds up the mental torture before it arrives. And also, on top of that, there are bad smells that travel around the house. Like, we've got young children and they tend to pump a little bit and it will just travel and bob around the house. So no smell, be it perfumes, air fresheners, little kids' trumps, teas, everything is a shared odour that travels all the way around the ground floor. There is no sneaky little trumps in the corner because those little sneaky trumps just travel all around the house. So that was a consideration that we didn't think about before we actually did it. Number 4, and definitely the biggest one, is functionality. You haven't got a special little space that you can get away to and tuck yourself into the corner. There isn't a utility cupboard where you can hide all your stuff. The sound of the washing machine and being present in front of the washing machine, the dishes, the cooking, that's a great point actually. When you have people round and you host, you generally cook for them little snacks and stuff. So when you've got the kitchen in an open plan nature, like being down there, if you deduct 10 walls that are going in right now, you literally take the plates from people and normally you just slide them into the kitchen because it's not a concern because the kitchen can be an isolated space away. With open plan living, you look like a scruff if you don't clean straight up. Then it looks like you've just got dirty dishes, which you have all around your house. If you've got your mop, your brush, your hoover, you need a utility cupboard just to throw everything in there. And if you're like us, got some little rugrats with tons of toys, literally, we have to find areas to sort of wedge them in if people are coming round. Whereas if we had functional little rooms, our visitors would be only visiting, say, half, 50% of the ground floor or 25% of the ground floor. But with open plan living, your visitors are visiting the entire ground floor level. So you have to clean everything before they arrive. Number 5, which is something that I underestimated at the beginning, was heating. When you've got a massive open space like this, it takes a lot longer to heat up, it takes a lot longer to cool down, and in this day and age, it costs a bloody fortune to heat your house. And you can't just heat the space that you want to enter. So say if we want to heat this house now and get it warm, we have to put the underfloor heating on in here, the underfloor heating on in the other side, and in the center as well to heat it up. And by the time the underfloor heating kicks in, you've spent a fortune and you might have gone too warm or you're heading off to bed. So also 2 things dropped into my little nugget then. 2 bonus tips are there are no designated spaces, so it's not easy to rest in a particular area. So everything, especially if you've got the same tiles all through the ground floor, it's sort of uniform and it sort of feels like it's just one big space. And the other thing is your eye line. So when you're walking around the house, you don't want to see dirty laundry, you don't want to see clean laundry, you don't want to see little bits hanging around the house. Like the washing machine and the dryer, as someone commented on my dream house video that I'll tag in at the top there when we actually built the house, it was a very good point, made in a very nasty way, but a very good point, which was you don't want to come into someone's house and stare at the washing machine and the dryer. And our washing machine and dryer are right up there at the top. So you can see them from the dining area, you can see them from the kitchen, you can see them from the other little living room that we've got at the front there. So the centerpiece of the house. So within the eye line are some eyesores, if you like. That's probably a nice way to say it. So there's nowhere for your brain to rest away from them and hide your dirty laundry. Which brings back the having friends over that you have to clean the entire house and take your laundry upstairs. Whereas if you had a kitchen, utility cupboard, something stuffed away, as you can see, and if you drop on the channel on Johnnyfied, you'll see there's some videos of why I'm changing the open plan nature, what I'm doing to the house. You can also see the dream house, about what we've done to the house, how we built it, how we took it from a tiny little 3-bedroom detached house and extended it by 150% increase, which has made it into our little dream house. But the mistakes that we've made and what we're rectifying now. If you've got any comments, be it nice, nasty, or whatever you want to say about how we're talking about our open plan living or your experiences in open plan living, please drop them in the comments. For the record, we aren't closing down entirely our open plan living. This is still going to be open plan. Our kitchen's still going to go in there, but we are putting a lot of walls in. But these are the things that I would have loved someone to pull me to the side and say, Johnny, consider this, consider these 5 things and these bonus tips, and that would have helped me make a better, more informed, more educated and financially more suitable decisions on entering into extending our dream house. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please like, please subscribe, and I am going to be dropping more and more videos on what we have done to our house, how we've improved it. It's a hell of a journey. I'm not used to living in such a great, big, glorious house like this. It is a dream at times, and I feel a little bit like embarrassed about how great, not embarrassed about how great my house is, but I'm very lucky to have gone from living in a council terrace house to being able to develop this house into my dream house. So please like and subscribe to the channel for more videos coming your way. This is Johnnyfied, and open plan living, full open plan living, is just not for me. So semi-open plan living is loading.